Hello, good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Tree of Life. I'm Ruben here, and once again in the beautiful nature of Kodai, I'm near Focus Walk right now. So, this video, I'm gonna explain to all of you what is the significance that why should we engage ourselves in the fight of global warming. To cut down the crap, let me just get straight to the point. We may have at least just 3 good years that we can use to save our planet, save ourselves, save our children, and all the small children that we see running around happily on the road. So, the decision is ours, friend, right now, ours, friends, right now, because it's that decision that we take right now. I know it's tough to move from one profession to another profession, to learn another profession, but I would like to ask, is it worth it to continue the current profession at the cost of future destruction? Is it really worth it? Because I really don't think it is. Because, like, to quote the facts, we were trying to do some seaweed farming, and we are still trying to do some seaweed farming on the coast of Alapi in Kerala, and that is currently that was to increase the oxygen. And the thing is, there is the 11th low pressure system coming up in that area. Fishermen are not able to go to the sea, they are not able to catch fish for long periods of time, just 1 or 2 days, then it closes again. 11th cyclone, like in the initial cyclones, it causes floods in Kerala, landslides in Kottayam. A lot of people lost their lives, heavy destructions, houses went down. We all saw the videos of how drastic the events were in the first three cyclones. Then the two cyclones had gone to Uttarakhand. Another low pressure was there on Pakistan. So they had to return and they collided with each other at Uttarakhand and it got massive landslides. A lot of people and houses and roads and vegetation got destroyed again. Then the last two cyclones, we could see drastic effects on the coast of Tamil Nadu, like especially Chennai, where it was flooding. A lot of people lost their lives over there also. Then then it moved ahead and went towards Bangalore and I think via Tirupati. So Tirupati also flooded. We could see visuals of again houses getting taken away into the water. Friends, I would like to visualize. I like you guys to visualize the situation. We already have made a video where we show that how coronavirus has been a direct result of global warming. That's what I think, and I strongly think that it's correct, and no more news media will get it out because it's an existential crisis and they don't want to lose their business. There are lots of other viruses waiting to come out and out of the ice as it's melting very fast. If that is the case, like we don't even have minutes, some virus can come out and wipe out the entire species of humans within a second. That can even happen, but I hope not. So, coming back to the point, let me take you to a visualization. Visualize a future after 3 years if it goes on like this. And yeah, one more point. Like, it's not just India. In the last few days, there has been massive unrecorded flooding in parts of Canada. um, Canada, Vancouver, that's supposed to be the most important harbor for the Christmas festivals. They need transportation events, a lot of fields are lost, animals are lost. And mind you, Canada is the developed country. It's not like India. It's not a developing country. And last 5 6 months back, the same kind of event was recorded in Germany. That's one of the best developed countries. I think the best developed country in the world, Germany. And still, it couldn't prevent the after effects of flooding that happened over there. There was a glacier type lake over there. Below that area, there was huge flooding, and towns were submerged in water. A lot of property destroyed. If you follow these events, no need to say about the nations like Maldives and other island countries. They're already underwater. Even Kerala is losing its seacoast day by day. Coastal areas are under threat. People are going to lose their houses. Sea level rise is another problem, and the hurricane effects are very strong near the equatorial regions. In the upper regions, there are different effects. So, coming to the point, want you guys to visualize the situation after 3 years. Everybody I meet, they're all saying that okay, we are doing this computer job, AI job, bullshit crap. So it's not crap actually, but it will help you in the current situation to earn some money, to be steady. In America also people have earned money, they have invested in properties and those properties are underwater right now. So the thing is like visualize the situation after 3 years. Like after 3 years there will be if there are 10, 11 cyclones coming in last 40 days right now. So next year it will be 22 cyclone. After that it will be 44 cyclones in the second year. After that it will be 88 cyclones in the third year. That means by 2000 today's 21, 22, 23, 24. By 2024 we might be experiences 88 cyclones in a month. Not exactly cyclones like we have come to a situation where we have to redesign our important infrastructure strength values like the houses that are getting away. They were designed to resist the impact of floods in that area, but the water impact is very high. People don't have water in certain areas like Madagascar. They have not eaten proper food in like last 4 5 years, thanks to us and other developed countries. So we cannot pin our hopes to the politicians of this world because they have their vested interests and they are not going to back out of it. So the thing is, we as public, we have a power to stop consumerism, to stop the items, consuming the items that create pollution while manufacturing them or while using them. We can stop consuming those items like big plastic made goods or automobiles or bikes. Means we should go back to the technology of repair, like we should use the mobiles. Yesterday I was seeing a video wherein mobiles manufacturing you have mobile manufacturing you have now. By the way, this is my friend uh, in Coco's Walk making a video. Uh, so this is the way that it is. Like we are gonna face floods and impacts. So yeah, yesterday only I was seeing a video yeah where just for one mobile phone, hundreds of children are going inside a mine. They're not getting a even value of their product. Like they are just like beggars, maybe 100 rupees a day as per Indian value or something. So it's the greed factor that is consuming us. Even today, as you see, like it's the greed that is increasing. It's not the some people have businesses that are good, but the greed is increasing. We don't want to give the lower sections of the society a good value of their service, like farmers also. As you can see, they had to do 1 year of strike to get to their demands met. 750 farmers died. Like plus there is everywhere you see there is this greed factor. Like I want more money, I want more money. So I'd like to state that right from the moment human beings left the forest and decided to cut down the trees and make villages, that time we lost a connection to nature that we have to reverse back. We have set ourselves in the wrong path. Some points are good, but we should not develop at the cost of others, even other species, like not even rats, other animals. We kill the tigers, leopards, like we disturb the food chain. Yeah, that's all there. But right now, what to do is that's what we have to reverse. Like we should get back to the older styles, getting lesser. That's the way we should. And God only knows when the next war is gonna be, because there's gonna be a fight of food crisis. There's less of vegetation right now. Vegetation getting destroyed, and it will impact food chains. So countries like China can go to war. It's a realistic situation. So we should move towards a phase where we can self-empower ourselves, like little countries, like make our own food, do our own things, like don't depend on others, like kind of mostly seafood, like seaweed and all that can even increase the. So that's what I want you to visualize. Like, do you really want to pursue a future where there is no life after 3 years, and the children will be cursing us all the time as they are right now? Greta Thunberg and all, like it is 18 years old. Like, do we really want to pursue this all fancy of houses, or we have to get down? Like, seas present an enormous opportunity. Selfishness, even seaweed, we should consider developing seaweed, many seaweeds, not for cultivation purposes, also like just for oxygenation purpose, for the sake of our future, immediate future. Like we can just grow seaweed and leave them there in the oceans. They will keep on producing. They will keep on growing, keep on producing oxygen and all. We can tie up with local governments, local bodies, authorities, make income also out of seaweed cultivation, encourage more colder regions also to expand. Maybe we can even go there. We can. This. It's not that there is no money there. There's a lot of hell lot of money over there, and seaweed can displace a lot of current technologies that made plastic, that made biofuel. So slowly we can exit out of petroleum and other nature consuming items like this, like in a more nature friendly way. Not only seaweed, there are other techniques also, like creeper plantations. As I've explained in other videos, like you can cover your house with creepers, maybe monetization. So join us in these kind of activities so that we can have a better reach, or at least, you know, start something yourself if you want. I'm always open to ideas. Anybody wants any kind of support and all, I'm always open to ideas. But it's time that we take action right now, because this temporary money isn't going to have any value in the future. Even if we make 50,000 a month and around to like 6 lakhs a year, in 3 years you'll get 18 lakhs or 20 lakhs or 25 lakhs. With that 25 lakhs, can you buy back the land that is getting washed away into the sea, or the lands from the mountains that are getting thrown into the landslides? Or can you regain a future where we have zero cyclones in a month, or at least 10 cyclones in a month, like current situation? At least we can halt it. Or we move towards a situation where there's 88 cyclones a month and there is like 1001 lightning strikes in a month. Do you want to go towards that situation? Sea level rise and all will come in the last stage. But this heat waves and cold situation, Texas was. We have not designed our systems for such extreme climate where the earth is getting more hostile. So, guys, it's my appeal to all of you in this beautiful place. Nature is calling us. It's really an appeal. Look into the eyes of any child you know. Just look into it and look at the innocence of the child. Do you really want to hurt that child? Right now, that is what we are doing. We are hurting them. We are stealing their future knowingly. Mind you, if we do something wrong unknowingly, maybe God will forgive us. But if we know the impact that we are making, and God is only one, by the way, Jesus, Allah, Ram, they are all the same. Only a fool would say them that they are different. If you are a true believer, you should believe in all religions. So don't this time the fascist forces are hard at work causing divides, and they will be harder because they will all be fighting for each other's money. So this is the time to be united. Stand united as countries, stand united as communities, stand united as groups. Tamils, Malayalis, Kannada, Telugu, Hindi, Bangladeshi. Like we should all stand together. It's a time of unity. It's not otherwise we don't have a future. So whatever we are doing, we should involve everybody, and you know we should the root cause our suffering right now, and